Hello, I am currently in Marrakech, Morocco. I've been here we're approaching 2 days, though it hasn't been a full 2 days. I arrived not last night, but the night before. This has been such a crazy experience. So before I get into it though, maybe let's talk a little bit about when I was in the Canary Islands still. I had a really, really great time. The peak of the full moon was Friday morning. And so by Friday night, that was already kind of past the peak. And then by the time Saturday night came around, which was when the flamenco performance was in Mala, I was just really worn out. I didn't have the energy to jump out and, go to another village just to see a show that I've kind of already seen. I think it would really just be so that I could have an opportunity to dance, to try my hand at flamenco dancing, which I can do in other contexts later on. That's fine. So I ended up just staying back and having a really chill last night in the Canary Islands. But during the full moon, I had these really wonderful moments. I watched the full moon rise. I had wonderful times taking pictures and getting into a creative zone. I started writing about my travel experiences very much in my own voice and with my own thoughts and with really vivid imagery and descriptions of my experience. And I had a lot of fun writing. It was really nice to be writing something that was spontaneous and that was descriptive of my real life experience as it was happening. There is something really nice about that, and I really enjoyed the creative element of it. So I just kept writing, and over the course of a few days, I'm now approaching like maybe 10,000 words, which is a considerable chunk. And it's really only covered a couple of days. And it's making me wonder how long it would take to write with a similar level of detail about all the travel experiences I've had so far. Probably a very, very long time. So it would probably be a very big book. But I'm really enjoying writing about this part of my experience. And I think I might continue it for a bit and then go back to editing my book. But I took a bit of a break from working on my book, and I think getting back into writing, but not writing that, is helping me want to get back into that story. Sunday night was nice. I had a really nice tagine. There was a vegetable tagine that I had, and I really enjoyed it. It's very tasty. So good. Yeah, so I slept in the hostel, and then I woke up to the sound of donkeys, actually. It hadn't occurred to me that there would be donkeys. Yeah, there were carts being led by donkeys in the street. And also the streets are all very narrow in the Medina. Like, they're not, it's like an ancient city, right? So it's all very narrow streets made for pedestrian traffic or donkey traffic, like carts and things. So there's carts with donkeys, there's carts that are motorized and with people driving them. There are lots of motorcycles, which is kind of a fun vibe. It reminds me a little bit of when I was in Costa Rica, and in Puerto Viejo it was all like bicycle traffic, which I really, really liked. And here it's all like motorcycle traffic, which is a little bit more abrasive and chaotic, but it's still kind of fun. Also, there's cats everywhere. There's wild cats everywhere. So like, no matter where you're going, you will see at least 5 different cats on your way there. And there's a good chance that at least one of them will be friendly to you. So I've been really enjoying all of the cat love. So yeah, and then wandering around the city in the Medina, just like, seeing all of the dried cactus flowers, which are all such bright colors, and the huge piles of spices everywhere. It's such a sensual treat. You know, everything is interesting to look at. The smells are amazing. All the fabric feels amazing. You know, like it's a very sensual kind of place to be. And I really love that. I don't know, I really like it here. I like that I can practice my French, but I also don't have to if I don't want to, because most people do understand English, but French is usually better. I kind of like that there's just motorcycles everywhere instead of cars. The streets are really chaotic and interesting, but I kind of like that to a certain degree. But by the end of yesterday, I was really overwhelmed with just all of my senses being flooded for so long, and so many people will just come up and talk to you, and most of them are trying to sell you something, so it can feel a little exhausting. But I also met up with a friend of a friend yesterday, so I got to have a nice chill time hanging out with like a New Yorker, you know? So I got to have a really good like social experience with that as well. But yeah, then after kind of recentering, today I've been feeling a lot calmer. I am in a hostel that actually has a kitchen now, so I can make my own food. Though I did go out for lunch and had an incredible lentil salad that was so tasty and so filling. I'm really glad that I got to have a good, like, hearty vegan lunch. I got some Moroccan oil, so I've been putting that on my skin. Everything smells like orange blossoms. You know, like I smell like orange blossoms. It smells like orange blossoms out here because they're just growing everywhere. So it's really, really enjoyable to be here. So I think I'm gonna stay here for a bit, maybe work on my book some more, and just enjoy being out in Morocco. Being in this part of the world is really magical, and I'm really loving it. I hope spring is blooming for you, and I'll check in with you next week. Bye.